Haven't chatted to this man for a while. His name is Grant Edwards. He's the GM of PGG Wrightson Wool. I missed him last month, or I missed his mate Rob Cochrane because I was at the Rugby World Cup. So we haven't chatted for 2 months. Grant Edwards, where's the market gone?
Hi, Jamie, and afternoon to yourself and all your listeners. Market, you would have to say, over that period's been steady right across all wool types. From when you went away, or when we last spoke a couple of months ago, we've seen some minor fluctuations for different types, but generally the market has been fairly steady throughout that period.
Now, I note that you've taken the wool auctions to a couple of the AMP shows, the Christchurch show and the Hawkes Bay show, and I know that, for instance, at the Christchurch show, it was a good auction and big volumes.
Yes, Jamie, it's something that we've been instigated from the wool brokers, over the last few years. And Hawkes Bay was about 3 or 4 weeks, about a month ago, and then just recently the Christchurch show where there was strong volumes of wool right across all types, and it's great to see the support. The market was up for all types at that particular sale, and we turned over as an industry around $7.2 million worth of wool in sort of 4.5 hours selling. So it was a showpiece that we can take for farmers to actually see the wool being sold at auction.
Grant, traditionally at this time of the year we see the main bulk of the fleece wool coming off as the lambs are weaned off the ewes and shearing happens, but I guess it's not quite like the good old days when everyone was shearing in a mad rush through December, January. The wool clip is more, or the harvest of the wool clip is spread out more evenly over the 12 months now.
Yeah, it certainly is, Jamie. We see a lot more second shearing going on now. We see a degree. There's always been a strong degree, but there's quite more wool being shorn in that pre-lamb period. We are about to hit our peak in the North Island. There's a lot of North Island wool does come off in these next 3 or 4 months. But yeah, certainly to your points, I think rather than one big peak that we used to see in the past for those crossbreds, it's right throughout the year. Under current terms, yeah.
Grant, one thing that happens all the time, every time we chat, is we talk about wool preparation and contamination. It's interesting that wool is being discounted because of some of the permanent marker that's perhaps used to identify ewes at scanning time.
Yeah, definitely, Jamie. We're seeing a lot more prevalence of some of the markers that are being used not being scoured out. Under scouring, but also I guess something that's adding to that is that given the price of wool, some farmers have reduced shed hens, etc., and those brands should always be taken out of the fleece in the shed. But we're seeing a stronger prevalence of it currently, and it's like any preparation. That's a key one because that can contaminate. Big scourments where your 20 or 30 bales or 50 bales could be put in with 400 or 500. So it's very key to take that out, and preparation is always key.
And just a couple to really quickly finish on discoloration. It's been very wet in some parts of the country. I'm assuming that some of the fleeces that will come off in the next couple of months might have a bit of yellowing. Once again, pull that out.
Yeah, certainly, Jamie. We see considerable premiums for the better prepared wools, and we have seen quite a bit of moisture, certainly in Southland. High humidity in the North Island. We saw a lot of it last year, and we spoke about it last year, but it's very key to take those out to maximise the returns on your clip.
And one to finish on, IWTO, a big conference happening in Queenstown next week.
Yes, Jamie, the International Wool Textiles Organisation, which represent all the industry right across the world. There's a round table in Queenstown starting on Monday, which is the first time I'm aware that it's actually been held out here in New Zealand. So it's great to have those international partners in the wool industry, if you like, out here. And there'll be things discussed right from testing right through to sheep welfare, etc. So it's great to have that in Queenstown, and it'll be a real showcase for our industry.
Grant Edwards, GM of PGG Wrightson Wool, always good to chat. We'll chat once more before Christmas, and hopefully we can talk about a market on the way up.